Today on the table, we have a Beretta M9A1. This is actually, out of all the pistols that I have, my favorite gun to shoot. It is the most reliable. It's just ridiculously awesome. If you don't have one of these, they don't make them anymore. I think you can get them at Bud's Gun Shop still. I think it's in Kentucky or Tennessee. But if you don't have a Beretta M9A1, get one. It's ridiculous. It shoots so perfect at any crazy distance. I have friends that have Glocks with like red dots on it, and they're super souped up looking pistols that they've modified or do stuff to make themselves shoot straighter or better, but this thing shoots perfect just the way it is. You don't have to do anything to it. I have a Beretta 92FS, which is what this is, but this is an M9A1, which you can see right here. So this is a Beretta 92FS, as you can see, but it is the M9A1 version right here. You can see that right there. But this, it's never had a problem. I've put, I don't know, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 rounds through it. It is a 15 round. I guess here we'll do a quick safety check. Is there easy with Berettas because the barrel's right there on top? Nothing's in there. Now, again, I live in a state where I can buy 15 round magazines. They come with a 15 round magazine. So it comes with two actually. So this is what I always use. And I've just never had any problems with it. I don't load it full of 15. I only put 10 in when I shoot at the range, just because I don't need to wear the springs out in the magazines as much, and plus shoving in those last 5 is kind of a pain in the butt anyways. But these are just ridiculous. So a little history about these is, you know, these are based off a 92FS. As you can see here, it says Beretta Model 92FS on it. They were adopted by the U.S. military in 1985. So the 92FS won the competition in the 80s to replace the Colt, or at least the M1911A1, as a primary sidearm for the U.S. military. And it beat out a whole bunch of other contenders and narrowly beat out the Sig Sauer P226. And that was just based for cost reasons. It entered the service in 1990. And, you know, there's some other pistols that have been adopted to a lesser extent, like the 226. And some other ones, but this was what everybody carried basically from 1990 and on. Now, in the 70s, every branch of the United States Armed Forces and before, they did carry the 45 ACP M1911A1. And, you know, a lot of the USAF, they opted to carry 38 special revolvers, which is kind of cool, you know, that, you know, they have just that history, and, you know, because they used them for like criminal investigation units, military police organizations, USAF strategies, you know, like missile crews, military flight crews. Those guys all carried as a service weapon their 38 specials throughout from the 70s and before. But the M9A1, this one actually started in 2006. So there was an M9 before that, but the M9A1, they made the changes to that, or became the M9A1 in 2006. So it was always the M9 from 1990 up until 2006, and then this is the variant, the M9A1. So they don't actually make it anymore, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, but they just added some things to it. They added a 1-slot pick-and-air rail for mounting lights, lasers, you can see that here, and there's other, you know, accessories for it that you can add. It has a more aggressive front and back strap checkering, and you know, there's just beveling for the magazine to get into the well a little bit easier, which is nice, and I agree, it's fantastic. It's just, and then the coating on it is a physical vapor deposition is what they call it, and that's what this is, like a PVD. It's just this dark metallic coat on it, I guess you could say. It's just really nice. The grips are a plastic grip. They're not really like a sticky rubber like I have on that other pistol I showed you the other day on the CZ. The CZ has a nice rubber grip. These are more plastic grips, but these are really easy to hold on to. So yeah. And then the other thing too is that, so as you can see, this is a Beretta M9A1. There was never an M9A2. It never happened. They tried to make one. It's kind of a concept, but it never was into production. And then they do make an M9A3, and that started in 2015, and then now there's even an M9A4 as well. I would love to call Bud's gun shop or find a place online where I could find another, brand new out of the box M9A1 that never sold from before, I'm definitely going to buy another one because they're just great. And I'm going to buy an M9A3 just to compare the difference, but this is my favorite gun to shoot. Like, if I go to the range, I always bring it with me. It's never had issues. It's just super fun to shoot, and it looks great, feels great. And everybody I have that shoots it, even the guys that have the fancy Glocks and other pistols, I'm always like, you guys, you got to shoot this, and everybody loves it. It's because it's ridiculous. It shoots so well. So anyways, just want to show everybody this is my no longer made anymore Beretta M9A1. Let me know if you have one. Let me know if you were in the service and you had one and carried one, because they had them in the tan color, that military tan color, and I'd love to hear about that in the comments as well.